Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing, man. Shout out to our sponsor, The Breakfast Box. If you're in the Akron area, make sure you stop by The Breakfast Box for all your breakfast and early lunchtime needs. Make sure you stop by The Breakfast Box. We got a beautiful show ahead of us today. I'm gonna tell you guys a few things, and then I'm gonna bring my brothers up. So we're gonna talk about something that's kind of been, I would say, kind of really been on my heart, man, when it comes to boxing. And that's the fact that we've just seen two fighters in particular, two guys that, I'll be honest, and full transparency, I unfortunately supported in the past. We've seen these two guys in Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez go out here and just spew racist rhetoric, I mean, over and over again without consequence. And I'm just wondering what is going on and why are we not seeing anybody say anything about it. I just think I think it's sick. You got Teofimo Lopez talking about he's saying this stuff for promotion. I mean, okay, if you're saying it for promotion, let's take that BS as if that's something real. So if you're saying it for promotion, why do you think it's okay to be racist? My only question is that, why do you think it's okay to be racist? One thing I will say, I just never in my life thought you would hear people be able to be so racist and still have a career. And it just goes to show, if you offend Black foundational Americans, nothing's going to happen to you. Ryan Garcia said he wanted to bring George Floyd back, back from the, and he wanted to unalive him again. So when you got somebody talking like that, I mean, it's just one of those things where I've never in a million years thought we would ever hear anybody talking like that. And it's just, for me, it's sad. For me, it's sad because I just think there's no reason for that to even be said or even talked about. But that's just my thoughts on it. I'm gonna bring my guys in. What you got on it? What you got on it? Prize or free?
I think at this point,
I just think
we
it's
so
just
many people
a thought we would
been
see this.
dealing with it.
We had Jim Lampley, who, people talk a lot of crap about Jim Lampley, but I give Jim Lampley his credit. Jim Lampley stood up 10 toes down and said, hey, you should never be using racist rhetoric to push a fight. But the overall problem is, where's the outrage from the Black fan base? I mean, I don't see it. It's non-existent. If someone says something crazy about, Tank Davis and say he doesn't want to fight Devin, they got, a million people coming to help. Salute to my man Dang, salute to Leo's vlog, salute to Prize. But when we talk about something as simple as a guy talking about he wants to bring somebody back from the dead to unalive him again, I just never in my life thought I would hear that. And he said it so casually. And the thing that gets me now is when these people use stuff like, oh, I'm under mental health issues. And I think for me, it just really irks my nerves. Not saying that those things can't be real, because I guess the worst thing I guess you can ever do is be seen to be insensitive, which is crazy. Who's my brother Piro? But we gotta be honest here, man. Just to have guys openly come out and be racist and think it's funny, I mean, I just think it's unreal. Ryan Garcia, I'll be honest, if I was Devin Haney, I wouldn't fight him. I wouldn't give him any money. Teofimo Lopez, If I was Tank Davis, if I was Keyshawn Davis, I wouldn't fight him because you don't want to give guys like this any light. And I'm telling you, it just pains me to continuously see these guys, man, come out, be racist, nothing happened to them. What you got for me, Prize and Fish?
The thing is, with the whole Ryan Garcia situation, I think because it was a while ago. I mean, people tend to say things at the time that is said and then forget about it. Um, with Tio, it's pretty much the same thing. He came out and said it was all for promotional, and Bud Crawford pretty much gave him the pass because Bud Crawford was the
Yeah, you
one
cut
that was
out.
standing.
Go ahead, you
Yeah,
cut
Bud.
out.
Nah, he
Oh
sound
no,
fine. He good.
no. Bud Crawford was the
Yeah,
one that yeah, Bud Crawford was the one that said, I don't have to whoop him now because of what he said because it was all for promotion. So he pretty much gave him the pass. So when they looked at Bud Crawford as giving a pass, they're like, well, he said this stuff about Bud Crawford, so if he gonna give him a pass, ain't no need for me to say anything about it. I mean, the thing is, when you say you wouldn't give them a fight, the problem is that it's more likely for the black fighter to get blackballed than the Latino fighter or the white fighter. It's more likely for the black fighter to get blackballed because let's be honest, we're the ones that got to do all of the heavy lifting in order for us to get any recognition. Where when it comes to the other fan base, those guys ain't got to do as much, and they get praised for everything they do. So it's easier for Devin to get blackballed than it is for Tio or Ryan to get blackballed. So I just it's just the times that we're living in. So I mean, you either you deal with it or you make a fuss about it. A lot of people say, man, there's no need for me making a fuss. Ain't nothing going to change. So I just handle it the way I see fit.
Mm. Yeah, well, he needs to get whooped. You know, I want to see one of them get whooped. I don't care who does it. I hope Rolly knock Ryan out. I really hope Rolly come in there and knock Ryan out, even though it's probably not what's gonna happen. But and Tio, Bud ran down on him. He thought, "Oh, man, it's just a prank. It's just a prank, bro. Look, I got the camera rolling." That's what that was to me. He's a goofy. I want to see him whooped. I hope Barbosa do damage on him. I don't know about that fight, but I can't stand either one of them the way they do that and then they get away with it. They don't lose endorsements. People, it's disgusting at this point, and I want to see them. I want to see him whooped in the ring or out the ring. I'm okay with either or.
Speaking of that, I know a lot of us are familiar with the recent allegations put against Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp. So Shannon Sharp lost Boost Mobile and he lost DraftKings as
That's
sponsors.
whack.
And the part that's so for me that as they would say so diabolical about it, Ryan Garcia um is still going to be the headliner on a big time card after making racist comments and coming up dirty. And I just in the never in a million years thought we would see this where guys are just able to do whatever they want. And safety doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look good for the sport. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know. I guess I never in
Well,
my life thought I would see this, man.
well, I mean, Ryan is the headliner because of who's putting the card on. Now,
Yeah.
if that was Al Heyman, do you think Ryan would be the headliner? Probably not. So I mean, it's because of who's putting the card on. It's a Golden Boys card. It's being funded by Turkey. Remember, the thing was when the card was first put on, Devin Haney was the main event. They moved Devin Haney from being the main event to being the co-main event. So
Mhm.
it was things that was being done by either Oscar or Turkey. They were the ones that decided to make Ryan the headline. Like I said, it's a Golden Boys card. There's only 3 fights, but it's a Golden Boys card. Golden Boy has majority of the fighters on that card. He got Ramirez, he got Ryan, he got daggone Ramirez, Ryan, and I believe Barbosa is under Golden Boy as well.
Mm.
So though it's a Golden Boys card.
Hmm. Yeah, it ain't nothing they can do about that. There ain't nothing Devin can do about that. But pretty much what D Free said, somebody did something behind the scene and said, you know what, we're changing it. You know what I mean? So, so that's just what that's about. Because I like Free said, if Al Heyman was put on his card, I just think that Devin Haney Ramirez is just a better fight than Rolly and and Ryan. So I agree with you, Free, 100%.
Yeah, I think no matter how you slice it, for me, this whole thing is really getting old. But going into our next subject, why do you guys think we haven't seen Eddie Hearn go out of his way to get Andy Cruz in a fight with the great Keyshawn Davis? What do you guys think?
One or two things. Either he doesn't think that Andy Cruz is ready for him, or it's because Eddie Hearn is cheap and he knows what's going to cost to put that fight on. I mean, we just saw Jerron Boots Ennis had to take money out of his own pocket to make a unification fight, because if he wouldn't have, that unification fight probably would have never happened. So, that's why I keep saying, people keep saying, "Oh, Eddie Hearn is the best promoter." I don't believe so.
I
It's
don't
only
either.
two guys that Eddie Hearn actually promotes, and that is AJ and Conor Ben. Everybody else, he don't really promote them like that. Those are the
Don't
only
He
forget
two
don't
about
guys
care
that he
Raymond
about it.
actually
Ford.
promotes.
He take care of Raymond Ford.
I mean, he might take care of Raymond Ford, but what promotions have you seen from Raymond Ford? Because I don't remember ever seeing a promotion for Raymond Ford.
He was on
Right.
that 5-on-5.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they didn't headline or
yeah,
nothing.
he
He
It
didn't do
seemed
nothing
like
for
they
him.
pushing him. It seemed like Eddie's pushing him.
I mean, he put him on cards, but I'm talking about actually promoting him. I don't see any promotion for Eddie Hearn. Like, we hear Eddie Hearn talk about Conor Ben, talk about AJ on a constant basis. AJ ain't doing nothing. You will still hear Eddie Hearn bring up AJ name from time to time. He ain't been fighting since he got put to sleep. We
Yeah.
haven't seen AJ, but you'll hear Eddie Hearn talk about AJ from time to time. You'll hear Eddie Hearn talk about Conor Ben, but
Mhm.
other than that, he really don't talk about anybody unless they ask him a question about a specific fighter. He don't just bring up Raymond Ford. I've never heard him talk about Raymond Ford, to be honest with you. And
Ever.
I have to go look at some interviews because I've never heard him talk about Raymond Ford.
I mean,
I
to me,
never.
it looks like he
I mean, the
pushed.
only time he
It
talk
seems like he
about.
tries to push him the same way he pushes suit my brother Jeff. It looks like he's trying to push him the same way he would push like an AJ, because even when he lost to Nick Ball, he put him in another position to kind of get himself up in a title fight contention right away. So I don't know. It
I
just
mean,
seems like that's one guy that he's been really putting some energy behind.
I don't see it.
I mean, if that's what you see. I don't see that. If
Yeah,
that's
I
what
don't
you
see
see,
it.
that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Me
But I
personally,
do
the
rock
only
with
people
Ray Ford though. I follow him on Instagram and
yeah,
stuff. He's a
the
good
only
guy. I
person
like him.
that
I'm
I
rooting for him.
the only person I see Eddie Hearn pushing is Conor Ben and AJ. That's it. I don't see nobody else.
Yeah. But that being said, um,
Maybe a
I
little
guess
Ray Ford.
I guess my main thing would be we're hearing about Daniel Dubois versus Usyk. Do you guys think that's going to be a
Mhm.
good rematch? And is that something that you guys want to see in particular?
I think it go different. I think, the questionable body shot in the last fight. I think this fight goes different. I think Usyk can be in. I think Dubois gonna give Usyk a run for his money this time. Whether he win or lose, I think it'll be a better fight. I think Dubois. Like how if you watch baseball, how some teams just get hot. They get hot and they go like into Red October or whatever. That's what we call it in Philly, but whatever. When they just some teams just get hot, and I feel like Dubois is hot right now, and I feel like he can upset the apple cart and we can get a third fight possibly. But I think he's hot
Um,
right now. I think Dubois can beat him.
I don't know, because the one thing that I know about Usyk is whenever he gets a rematch, he beats the fighter even better than he beat him the first time. So
That's a
I don't
fact.
know.
That's a
I
fact.
don't know. I don't know. I think Dubois is a good fighter. Do I think he beat Usyk? Probably not. I
Mm.
mean, like I said, Usyk, when he rematches his opponents, it seems like he beats them better than he beat him the first time. So I don't know if Dubois can beat him. Maybe that was Dubois' only shot of beating Usyk was with that body shot. And unfortunately, the referee called it a low blow.
Maybe he can land it again. He's capable.
Yeah, I mean that to me that was crazy because we seen the same kind of scenario when he fought AJ. But I'm telling you,
Hmm.
this is gonna be a true test, and I think I really think
Hmm.
that my man Daniel Dubois can win. I think he can bring the championship
Yep.
back home to Africa. I really do.
Me
Um,
too.
for him.
I think he
Um,
can win too. The same way, the same way most people counted Beevil out in the rematch. When we all picked the rematch, I said I'm going with Beevil again. I think he's gonna beat him this time, and he did. You know what I mean? And I think Dubois can beat Usyk this time. I think he can do it. Will he do it? I don't know. Like Free said, that's tough, but he definitely can do it. And I think he can, and I think he will do it. Me personally, I'll do it right now. I'm picking Dubois, all the way, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big Dubois fan. Like I said,
Me
he's
either,
a good
Free.
he's a good fighter. I don't know. Until somebody beat Usyk, I'm not gonna say he beat him because I seen a guy that literally quit in the ring. Like I said,
Mm.
he hit him with the body shot, and the referee called a low blow, and it seemed like that was his
That
last
was all he
one
had. Yeah,
his one
yeah,
last
you
hope
right.
of trying to win, and he ended up
You
quitting in the
right.
ring. So I don't know if he could beat Usyk the second go around. I think Usyk might beat him even easier.
yeah, I mean, Usyk is like a Evander. He might go in there and probably beat the black off of him. He might just go in
That's
there
that's
and beat
crazy.
the fish and chips out of him. But I'll say this. I'll say this.
That's crazy.
One thing that you said that is true, Bella. Najee did confront him, but to be honest, I mean, there's nothing you can really do. There's nothing we can really do. I mean, we can't kick his ass. I mean, that's not gonna do nothing. But I'll say this. I just hope that people understand that what's going on with Tio, it's just desperation. You know what? You can say what you want about Devin. You can say what you want about Tank. Those brothers go in the ring and prove themselves. But it's crazy. You always got these little low down idiots that'll do anything for attention, bro. And I think this
Yeah.
is a prime example of cats who will do anything for attention. And it really, I'll tell you this, man, it pisses me off because they think they can say sorry after saying whatever they want. My grandma used to say all the time, I'm gonna forgive you because that's my job, that's my duty by God. But other than that, I don't want nothing to do with you. We ain't gotta like you.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I think he's looking for the attention because he's not a star boxer. Now he's a name, but far as being a star, he's not that. And I think he's looking for that fight to put him on a map. He thought it was going to be Loma, but it wasn't because he turned around and ended up losing to Cambosis. So they were like, okay, you got a fluke win over Loma, but you turn around and lost to Cambosis. So he's looking, and we heard him say he's never made $1 million, and so he's looking for that star fighter that can put him on a map where he can start getting big purses, and he just hasn't found it yet. Like I said, he won against Loma. He thought that was going to put him over the top, and it
It
didn't.
didn't,
And then he turned around, he beat Josh Taylor, and that didn't put him over the top.
which
So he's
was
like, okay,
shocking.
these guys ain't put me over the top. I need to go fight one of these guys like a Turnbull Crawford or Jerome Buzenas or Tank Davis in order for them to put me over the top. Which I think he gets knocked out by all of those guys. But that I think that's what he's looking for. But the problem is none of those guys is paying him no mind because he's
Right,
not that he's not that good of a fighter in their eyes. They're like, okay, this dude is just he's looking for the star, but he's not that dude. So we,
right.
we ain't paying him no mind like that. If he's in our way, then we'll run him over. But other than that, we ain't paying that man no mind.
I do agree with you, Queen Bella. He did press ball. He did press Teal. Somebody did something, but I want to see him get this. I want to see him get whooped. There's a difference than pressing somebody. I want to see somebody get beat up. Say it,
I
BBL.
mean,
Say it. I don't want to take it saying. Say it. Beat
no,
it.
no,
I want to
I
see him
I
beat
put
them.
I know what you're saying, but I
I
mean,
want to see him
it's
beat
one of them
bad.
it's one of them things. Hey, it's one of them things, man. Where for me, I just think the dude is ridiculous, man. And it's crazy because a
I
guy
hate him.
like Tio got Mayweather talent, but is more known for antics and BS than what he do in the ring. And it's sad. As somebody who support him, I never in a million years thought I would see another Mayweather talent-wise. He got that kind of talent, but is such an idiot dummy that he don't even see what he could be because he's too busy always playing the short game. And that's what happened to idiots, man. But that being said, what do you guys think? It was a pretty scathing article that came out in the New York Times about Turkey, saying that I guess the origin of his friendship with the prince came through, from childhood. Do you guys think that Turkey's sketchy past hurt him in boxing? What do you guys think?
Um, yeah, I mean, I saw that same ad, I mean the same report that you talking about, and somewhere in that report it says one of the people from Turkey's entourage was somebody that the FBI was looking at, and he appeared to look like a guy that was wanted by the FBI as a spy. So a lot of time when you start having these people looking into your background or something, eventually they're gonna find some dirt. And the FBI, the CIA is not anybody you want looking into your background. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, people that's dealing with those individuals, you gotta tread the water carefully because a lot of times that stuff spill over to you. So if you got any shady things going on, or you think some things might be going on, you might want to stay far away from it because you don't want them to start looking into your background and dealing in all your personal business because they would dig deep until they find what they're looking for.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
um, it's funny you say that. I guess the thing that's so outrageous about the whole thing is that people been talking about Turkey. They've been, wishing for his downfall. But do you guys think that the way he was, embraced, why do you think Al Heyman wasn't embraced that same way?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the way that Al Heyman came into the game. A lot of people say, "Oh, this man don't know nothing about boxing," and so he had that strike against him. And then he was in close ties with Floyd Mayweather. A lot of
Hmm.
people didn't like Floyd Mayweather, so that was another strike against him. And then he's a black man. I mean, let's be honest about it. He's a black man. That's another strike against him. So when you got those three strikes, they like, man, we ain't trying to get this man no time of day.
And he took what he wanted and gave us the best fights.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but man, I really miss them fights on Fox. I used to love that.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
really miss them fights on Fox. I
That
don't know.
Pacquiao Thurman was super. That was a good fight on. Man, that was a good fight on Fox.
I honestly would say to me that was one of Keith Thurman's best performances.
You know what, BBO? I think me and you the only one that say that because I don't feel like Keith Thurman really lost that. I know the knockdown looked bad and the body shot, and Keith Thurman took his mouthpiece out and ran around the ring like a maniac. I get it, but Keith Thurman was landing some thudding shots on Manny Pacquiao that I think a lot of people miss because they hated Keith at the time, and it's the mighty, great Manny Pacquiao. Man, I watched that fight like 3 or 4 times, and I believe like once or twice. I scored that joint for Keith Thurman one time, bro. 'Cause I thought they didn't give Keith Thurman some credit. He was doing some good work. Like I said, I think me and BBO the only one that say that's his best fight to me.
I don't know
I
about
think
his
it's a
best
draw.
fight.
I thought it was a draw. I didn't think he
Nah.
won, but I thought
I
it was a
thought that he
draw.
won one. I thought one time when I watched, I was like, man, I feel like Keith won. Then I scored it for Pacquiao. Then I scored it a draw, and then I think I scored it again for Pacquiao. But
What
I don't
what
know.
what I'm gonna need both of y'all to do? I'm gonna need both of y'all to take off the Stevie Wonder sunglasses because it
Mm-mm.
wasn't a draw, and then
You
Keith
said
Thurman
the
did
what?
not win
The
that
what
fight.
sunglasses?
The Stevie Wonder
The
sunglasses. I
Stevie
need you to
Wonder
Oh
take those
yeah,
off
sunglasses.
because it was not a draw, and Keith Thurman did not win that fight. Keith Thurman lost too many of the earlier rounds for him to win that
Mm-mm.
fight, and then you add the knockdown on top of that. No, he did not win that fight. It wasn't a close fight to me at all.
I found one time I
It was
watched
a
this. I found I can give Keith Thurman 6 rounds in there.
it was a entertaining fight, but it wasn't
Hmm.
a close fight to me at all. I had Manny Pacquiao winning 7-5 easily, easy
I don't
I
have
could.
no problem with that. I don't
and,
have no
and
problem with a 7-5 free.
I mean,
and seven
I can see
five.
why you would
I
say
mean,
that
see,
though.
I mean, it was seven rounds that he won, but you got to remember one of those rounds was a knockdown. So he actually,
Queen
it was
better.
actually more like six. It was more like 8-5, but you can't give him 13 rounds. So
All right,
it
okay,
was
you know
seven. He
what?
won 7 rounds.
All right, Queen Bella, I'm with you. He said he won 100% lost that fight, but like it wasn't that bad as people made it seem. I thought it was a lot closer than what people. Let's just say Pacquiao, because when I saw it in real time, I was like Pacquiao's cooked him. Then I went back and watched. I was like, damn,
Nah,
Keith was landing some good punches in that mug. Boy, I mean,
nah,
some good combinations.
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't close for
I
me at
don't know if
all.
y'all
It
watched
was.
that fight.
I
He
thought it
came
was
on
pretty
so
close.
strong.
7-5 is kind of close to me. That's close to
No,
me.
I mean
To me,
it's you looking at it as he won 7-5. Like I said, you got to remember one of those rounds was a eight.
a
I mean a
knockdown.
10-8 round.
Hmm.
So that is more like a 8-5 win. But you
Okay.
can't give them
Yeah,
13.
right, right,
You can't.
right.
They
No
don't
doubt.
fight 13 rounds.
No doubt. No
Yeah, that
doubt.
was a
I'm
split.
with
That
you.
was a split decision. I forgot about that. But you know
Right. Right.
the funny thing about that fight was I had never seen Keith Thurman be that aggressive since the Danny Garcia fight.
Bro, when he went
Came out
down,
like he was
BBL, he
Mike
came back
Tyson
like a
till Danny
savage.
Garcia clipped him, and then he said, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on." But you know what? I definitely would be messed up. I'd be remiss if I didn't say what's up to my favorite brother, man, from Raleigh, North Carolina, man. My guy B3. What's up, brother? I think he fell down the steps. Hold on one second. I thought B3 was up here. He must have.
B3, you from Raleigh? I
Man,
thought he took
BVO, he the type of guy. He'll change your address. He'll move you to a new
B3, you in
town.
Raleigh?
See, nah, I'm not in Raleigh, bro.
Oh, I'm about to say
But
that.
I grew up in Greensboro though.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I grew up in Greensboro. That's why I went to
Same
middle
thing.
school and high school.
You
No,
used
it's
to pick
definitely
cotton
not the
too, right?
same thing. No, it's not the same thing.
You
That's
used to
like
pick
saying you
cotton,
from
right?
Akron.
Huh?
That's like saying you from Akron.
Get out of here. Hey, I ain't from the sticks. I'm
Um,
not you. But go ahead.
um,
What you got on that? What you got on this, man? What you got on that? I don't know if you want to talk about the racism in boxing or you want to talk about the recent thing we was talking about Keith Thurman and probably one of his best
Nah,
performances in a
I
loss.
want you to tell us what you seen in Teofimo to make you say he showed you he was the next Mayweather.
I seen a 23-year-old kid, very reminiscent of when Floyd went to Atlantic City and fought Otero Gotti and dominated him. I couldn't believe a guy that young had those kind of cojones where he would just step to the best guy at the time, the lineal champion, and fight him. And then I thought it was a close fight, but to actually beat him in the championship rounds. So I said, when I seen that, I said, yo, this is a bad dude. After coming, and keep in mind, he had just knocked out a monster and the African sensation Richard Coleman, who was an absolute monster at 135. So I'm talking about back-to-back wins, and then he had beat Nakatani, who was tough, big tall guy, long, rangy, tough guy to beat, and he went in there and he beat Nakatani to death. So when I seen him, I said, "Oh my God!" I'm thinking I'm seeing a rebirth of Floyd Mayweather. That's what I thought at the time.
And all that was before Cambosis cracked his jaw, had him looking stupid, right?
Well,
Hmm.
Muhammad Ali lost. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all new age fans act like a loss
I
is a bad
mean,
thing.
Right.
did Muhammad Ali? I mean, who was George Cambosis? That was the cherry pick gone wrong. I mean, but other than
Fighting the
that, man,
IBF mandatory is a cherry pick. Wow, that's a heck of a reach, bro.
yeah, when you duck undisputed, it's a cherry pick. Why ain't
Mm,
he fight that? Why ain't he fight the American Dream, Devin Haney, for undisputed?
mm.
I mean, I like the dream, the American dream, but the American dream had a secondary title that was kind of like made up. When if you think about it, Lomachenko had fought Luke Campbell for the rights to that vacant belt from Mikey Garcia. But it's politics as always, so they wanted to screw Lomachenko out of what his glory. But Lomachenko was fighting for undisputed, fighting
He
for a
ducked the
secondary
fight though.
belt.
I
I
mean, I'm
mean,
gonna cook him, prize. You already know I'm gonna cook him. But
you
I mean, you just said this, that, and the third about Lomachenko fighting for a vacant.
right.
Why did he sit out? Why did he sit out the ring for 16 months instead of fighting
Mm.
his mandatory?
There's some injuries, man.
That's true.
Oh, so he was injured when he fought T.O.
You said what?
Ah, he was injured when he fought Teofimo.
I don't think so. I think he was. I think
So
he
was he
actually
healthy or
stayed
was he
healthy.
injured? Which one was it though?
I don't know.
Was
I
it,
don't
so
know.
he
I know
was too
he was
injured.
dealing with
So
some
he was
injuries.
too injured to fight Haney, but he wasn't too injured to get in there with Tio, and then come out after the fight. He said he had a soldier injury. That's why he wasn't letting his hands go.
Hold on. Let me
Come on,
let's
man.
stop. Let's stop the propaganda. I see what you're doing.
I
Stop the
mean,
propaganda.
I mean, you laid it out for me. You know what I'm saying? When
Well,
you just, if you leave it over the plate, I'ma crack it.
um, you a wild boy, man.
No did it. I say no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
But I'll say this, man. When you think about a guy like Lomachenko, if he would have beat up Devin Haney, who was a prospect back then, he would have got no respect. And you got to remember, at the time, this is before
So
Devin Haney.
so
Go
so
ahead.
you say that to say, but don't they? Everybody want everybody to fight that mandatory. Then people was calling for Canelo to fight Benavidez, right or wrong.
Well, we never
And
seen Devin Haney ever defend a belt.
What Canelo say about Benavidez? He ain't do shit in the sport. He don't
You
even
got
remember the fact that he been a champion. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of picking and choosing going on. Uh,
you said David
when you're
Benavidez.
Hispanic, when you're 100%, bro.
I've
Was
never
he
heard
not
of him. Is he
Canelo
a new fighter?
mandatory? Yeah, exactly, man.
Are
Come
you
on,
trying to
man. You can't
compare him
do
to
this
the
to me.
great Canelo? Oh, okay. Who's fighting Bud Crawford?
Nah, we just
Number one
talking.
pound
Yeah, I
for
mean,
pound?
everybody say Lomachenko is just this great fighter. Or this the special, the Matrix. You know what I'm saying, the Wolf. Somebody call him the White Wolf. I mean, he can't defend it against his mandatory. Just a black guy from Henderson, Nevada, straight up and down.
Um,
I mean, what you wanted to do?
I don't
I
know. I
mean,
guess
dudes is ducking,
I've
man.
never, I didn't. You know, it's so crazy, and I got to give you your props, man. I never met a brother that come on here and just give you misinformation and do it. You know, with his voice, with his voice intact, and as my grandmother would say, with his back straight. The man is getting up here lying like a rug, talking about um oh this and that. But you know, but one thing I'll tell you, man, it's almost better to teach a child than to teach a damaged man. And I think that's exactly what I'm
Wow.
learning whenever I talk to my man B3. It's better to teach a child than teach a damaged man. But I'll say this: no matter how you slice it, Devin Haney was not the WBC champion at that time, and he had like a regular belt. I don't know what kind of belt it was, but it wasn't a real belt.
So
The
he
great
had
Mauricio
so
Suleiman said he the franchise belt was the main belt.
And that was Cap though.
yeah, he lied. Where's the franchise belt
Uh,
now?
the thing is, what I mean, I understand what BBO is where he's trying to take it to, but the problem is that franchise belt was not the main belt. It was later after that Studeman came out and said the franchise belt was the main belt, and that the belt that Devin Haney was now considered the prize belt. So I mean, I understand what BBO is trying to do, but it doesn't work
Oh,
for
that
people
is
that
true. That
actually.
is true. They did put it as the gay pride belt. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
true.
that was
Oh, it's
months
sad, yeah.
later. It was months later because the
Yeah.
franchise belt was not considered an actual belt. It was
It was
considered a award.
non-transferable. Remember what your
Hey,
boy
but BBL,
Suleiman said?
you appreciate when your people do that to blacks when they discredit their accomplishments and diminish what they've done in the sport and just determine if they gonna uh put that belt. They don't do that to nobody else. They ain't do that to Charlo when Canelo took franchise and vacated his shit.
I
But
mean,
see,
I think
you like it when stuff like that happen to young blacks.
no, but this is the same guy who said if it's not snowing, he ain't going. So I really can't take what you saying too serious. One thing we know about B3, the boy like liquor and he like his white women. So we're not gonna sit here
Oh,
and play the game with
oh
this guy.
God.
Yeah.
Y'all
Um,
going somewhere. Y'all going
but
somewhere
I, but
else.
I'll say this. You know, like I know, Devin Haney. Hold on, so we got some background noise. Um, I think like I know, man.
21.
I think like I know that no matter how you slice it, man, if they would have fought at that time, Lomachenko would have gave Devin the business because we seen Devin Haney almost get stopped in round 11 when they eventually did fight. Do you forgot about that?
Nah,
He
you just
stopped
you
back.
just over embellishing. You like to see guys throw like little flurries of punches, not really sit down and throw no power shots. But I don't know what concocted in your mind to think that Haney was about to get stopped when we seen Haney get clipped multiple times by Ryan and not get stopped. So
Well,
that's a
we
fabric. That's
seen
a
him with his
fabric. Hold on,
hands
hold on,
too.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't cut your brother off. I'm your
Oh,
brother.
go ahead.
I'm just saying that's a fabrication. I think that's been proven faulty. And ultimately, Devin, and give credit like you do Tia winning the 12th round, give Devin credit for winning the 12th round and closing out that fight.
I want to run.
That's all I can say, man. Shout out to the right side, man.
Shout out
That's
right
all I.
side Dub.
But the thing that's so crazy about B3, and it goes back to what I said. He's one of them old school con man. This is the type of dude who will blame the baby. So whenever you hear B3 talking, he sound like a nice fella, but he's not. So you can't fall for his tricks. This is a Jay Prince type of guy who will
Oh
say
Wow.
God.
anything in a nice voice, but then next thing you know, he turning a knife in your back. And like
You
I
right.
know, like I know that if they were to fight, Lomachenko would have hurt Devin back then, and it would have ruined his career,
Nah,
because
stop
Devin
it.
Haney was nothing more than one of Floyd's old art projects that went wrong,
So
and
let me
because
ask
of
you
his
this.
great talent,
That's
he ended up
crazy.
doing something special. But I'm not gonna
So,
sit and act like he could beat Lomachenko. I'm just not gonna say that.
Well,
Queen
hey,
Bella,
well, he
you
well,
right today. When you talk
well
hey,
about
he
them ghost accounts that be fueling the fire, they definitely do. I just wanted to say
let
that
me
real
say this
quick.
to you, BBO. He actually did beat Lomachenko when they did fight. But why you not taking into account that Loma said it took him 3 times to get on the scale to make the weight? You forgot that part?
Mm.
So hypothetically speaking, he won when he struggled to make the weight. What would a 21 or a 21-year-old Devin that wasn't struggling to make weight done to Lomachenko? Hold on. Hold on. The same Devin that had Teofimo leave the WBC route. The same Devin that had Tank go to Gamboa WBA route. You heard. Did you get all that, BBO?
I don't know what happened to BVO.
Yeah, he know I cooked his ass. That's what he do know.
Yeah.
That's a rhetorical question anyway. Everybody that heard it know they kind of know what happened. I'm just shooting the shit with BBO. Shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody in
Yes.
the
I don't know what happened to BBO.
He just
BBO,
melted real quick.
BBO internet be going out more than daggone the power at a daggone blackout.
So, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Queen Bella. Shout out to Cam J. And shout out to Uncle Shelton and the brother Bentley. I see y'all rocking.
Uh, but I mean, going back to what BBO was talking about. I mean, the whole thing is you you can't sit here and act like Devin didn't want to fight Loma and Loma didn't want to fight Devin. Yeah, granted, Loma could have see the problem that I had with the whole thing with Loma was Loma could have unified and didn't have to worry about fighting Devin at that time. He could have went ahead and unified with Tio. He didn't have to pick up the franchise belt. The reason he picked up the franchise belt is so he would never have to fight a mandatory. Because at the time,
right.
Devin wasn't actually his mandatory. He was the number one contender, but he wasn't ordered to fight Devin Haney. But he would have been. So he took the franchise so he would never have to fight his mandatory. That was the reason why Canelo got the franchise, so he wouldn't have to fight Jamal Charlo. That was the
Let me
reason why
say
they
this,
came up
real.
with the whole
Let's just be
franchise.
honest. Let's just be honest what it is.
See, go ahead, Price.
Nah,
No,
I was just
I asked
co-signing free. Go ahead.
Nah, what I was gonna say about that is when these guys are moving through these sanctioning bodies or they getting in these tournament, they're paying sanctioning fees. So Devin was paying for multiple different titles going through the WBC rankings. So when he got that interim title when he fought Zaire Abdullayev, uh, that gave him the right to request to fight for the champion. And plus, Lomachenko requested a vacant WBC title, so he has to fight two mandatories, which of course the interim champion is the first guy in line. So that's why he had no choice but to do franchise or fight Devin. So that's why I mean, so of course top rank and Bob Arum, that's what they did, and that's just I mean that's the history of it. But I'm not saying Lomachenko was scared to fight Devin,
No.
but it just doesn't. I mean, it wasn't a fight that Bob Arum was looking to make.
Right.
What it was
But
was it what it was is
they ain't scared of each
it was
other.
a high risk and low reward fight for Loma. It was
Hmm.
a high risk to fight
At the
Devin. It was a
time.
low reward. Yeah,
100%.
at that time, it was a high risk, low reward. Devin wasn't a big name fighter. Nobody really knew who Devin was. So that was a high risk for Loma, and there was no reward for him. But for Devin, it was everything. It was a big reward, and I mean, yeah, it was still a high risk for Devin as well, but it was a big reward behind it. For
Right.
Loma, it would be a low reward if he beats Devin. It was nobody knew who Devin was at the time.
Well, wouldn't they would have fought for undisputed? Well, no, they wouldn't have fought for undisputed because he ducked the mandatory.
He had to fight Tio for the undisputed. Tio still
Right.
had the IBF, so no
Right. Right.
matter
Right.
what
Right.
happened between Devin and Loma, they still would have had to fight Tio to become undisputed. He had the
Correct.
IBF.
Correct. Well,
And
Loma didn't want to fight at the time, so well,
no,
no, I ain't gonna
no,
say that. Bob Arum didn't like what Free said. Didn't want that to happen, but I don't think Loma was scared. Not scared. I don't. Not a dead. I don't think so.
probably not scared, but like you saying, strategic
Low
planning.
risk reward. Yeah.
They really like tried to pump fake the public with the franchise and say that was undisputed.
Yeah. After the
Knowing that
man came out and said it's non-transferable, and he got pressed. He said some crazy stuff on Fred channel, and he was just saying stuff. The man, I don't know how he knew he was being recorded. You know what I mean? He said what he said. He Lomachenko they requested, and
uh-huh.
all that good stuff. So that was just a whole joke. And Devin still ended up being undisputed at the end of the day. So
Yeah, and that was crazy because that was funny that there was like Teal came out and said that he wasn't going to even be champion at 135, let alone undisputed. I was like, damn, he really was bold with that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because like I said, like Pryor just said, Devin ended up becoming undisputed. He was the only legitimate undisputed champion because
yep.
Devin still had that WBC. And they're like, oh, well, they said that your franchise is the real belt. Well, it doesn't matter. The purpose of Undisputed is there is no dispute. Well, when Devin had that WBC belt, there was a dispute of who was the undisputed champion. So until they
100%.
fought Devin, it was always going to be a dispute. And so
Hmm.
when Devin actually beat Cambosis, he legitimate the division as being the undisputed champion because there is no dispute. He
Hmm.
has the franchise and the
He took
WBC
he
and
had
the
that. Frank
other
did
belt.
everything. Yep, you're
Yeah,
right, Free. He had
there was no
everything at the end of
dispute.
that fight. Yep. And you know what? And you know another thing, like he did what he's supposed to do. People was like, "Well, Cambosis this, Cambosis that." Well, if Tio wouldn't have lost the fight, it's just like college basketball. If you're the top ranked team and you get knocked off in a tournament, you gone. So he
No,
lost. And then Devin fought the best available. That's why I don't understand when people get mad. Then he did it. Then he gave up his A side 2 times to do it. So I don't know
no,
what
but
more do
but
you want a
Tio
fighter to do,
Tio
bro.
Tio wasn't gonna fight Devin anyway because
I know, but
he
I'm
said
just
it.
saying. I'm just saying that would have been an undisputed fight. Tio and Devin was supposed to be the undisputed fight,
Well,
but Tio chose to bite a cherry that was rotten, and it went wrong for him,
no,
and he
what it,
lost.
Salute to
what
my
it was the
salute to my brother Cam J.
the
Never.
boxing
Salute to you,
gods.
brother.
the boxing guys knew what T.O. plan was. He was planning on winning against Cambosos and dropping all the belts and moving to 140. He
Run up
came
out
out
of
and
there.
told everybody. He said, that's the reason why I lost, because they knew what I was going to do. I was going to drop all the belts and move to 140 and make it harder for Devin to get undisputed. So they already, the boxing guys knew what his plan was. That's why he lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What else you
I
got,
mean,
BBO?
no matter how you slice it, man. Even when we got my man B3 up here, Devin Haney's official suit honor. I know he's honors all of Devin suits, but we got to be honest here, man. We got to be honest here. One thing I'll never forget was how Tank Davis ducked Devin Haney. Do you think we missed out on a great fight with Tank doing everything in his power to stay away from Devin? What do you guys think?
No one ever knows because everybody thought we was missing out on a great fight with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd for years until they got in the ring, and it wasn't even an entertaining fight. So we don't know if it was a entertaining fight or anything like that. So we will never know what it was. I mean, the fight probably would never happen at this point. So we don't know if it was a great fight or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things where it is what it is. But let me ask you guys this: do you guys think that we'll ever see Tank Davis unify at 135, or do you think that's not in the cards for him? What do you guys think?
Um, I think he would try to unify. Um, will he be successful? Who knows? We will find out if they fight. I think he would try to unify. I mean, because I'm not going to say that Tank just automatically beats everybody. He still got to go out there and perform. I believe he can beat everybody, but I'm not going to say he will beat everybody. He got to go out there and perform. I'm just going by what I believe will happen. I believe he can beat everybody. But if they get in the ring, if these guys sit down at the table and come up with a deal and get in the ring, I think he will try to unify. Will he be successful? It remains to be seen.
See, man, when you deal with a guy like BVO, he the type that he'll get sent to the store. He's supposed to, grab some milk and bread, and he forget all he get is a half a pound of chicharron.
No did it. I say no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
I just had to play that because whenever I hear my man B3 talking, he got like the zestiest stuff he like to talk about. So gotta make sure you put that disclaimer up. But I'll say
Man,
this,
we
man.
over here talking, man. We talking about the real deal, and you trying to bring up, what I'm saying, something that's irrelevant. Why don't you answer
So
to
let
the
me ask
fact?
you, what what
Why
ha-
don't you
what, ha-
answer
what
to?
happened? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What'd you say?
Both y'all
No, I
said the
was gonna
same
say go
thing.
ahead. Because you wanted to switch topics. You know what I'm saying? You jumped off. I was cooking you, and you came back to talk about
Oh,
Tank.
here you go. You never,
You don't want to talk. You don't
never.
want to talk about Teofimo. You don't want to talk about your brother.
Hey, I know Crush is in the chat listening. Hey, Crush, we might have another debate. We have to set up B3 versus BBO.
That'll be tough.
I mean, the thing that's so funny about B, when it comes to B
I cook
three, man,
BBO.
you'll get beat to death. They won't. You won't get. They won't recognize
Well,
you,
I
man.
want to see that fight. That's a good fight.
But but then again, this a brother who ain't got no water in his house. So I
Yeah.
don't know
See?
how somebody who ain't got no water in their house could talk to me so crazy, man. So I mean, the brother took a
It's
bath in the
funny.
library.
BBO would talk all this talk about blacks, and then he be praising and worshiping with him on Sunday. He was just praising and worshiping with thousands of blacks, and then he gonna come on here and shame his brother, man.
Hey
Wow,
man,
shame on you,
it's like I
BBO.
said, shout out to my man B3. He got his 24-hour fitness card so he can get a shower. But the man ain't got no water in his house, man. So that's
That's
what scared me.
crazy.
But all jokes aside, man, let me ask you guys this, just a kind of a little we usually do the shot the dub.
BBO the type. He got a whole rack of almonds Like he just like
You good. You good.
he got a
You tripping.
satchel. He walk around with a satchel of almonds, just eating them shits all day.
You tripping.
Hold
What you
on.
about to say,
B3,
BBL?
can I ask you a serious question, man? Why does it sound like you got
Oh.
a tongue ring when you talk, man? I don't understand what you're trying to do. It sounds like you got a tongue ring every time you talk.
That's
You
crazy.
already look like Little Fizz, man. I mean, do you want to get knocked out like Little Fizz? We seen you get knocked out on the radio station, so I don't know. I don't
Check
think you
your
want to do
radio
this with
station.
me, man.
You
Especially when
ask
you
your
be having,
question, bro. You bugging. He
especially
said
when
he
you be
want.
having that Steve Harvey fro all the time, bro. I don't think you should
Oh,
step to the kid, man. I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea.
you get knocked out at the radio station. You bugging. What was your question? What was you about to say?
Oh, my question was simply this: what do you
So
guys think
BBL, let me
about?
ask you a question
All
real
right, it's
quick.
gonna be
Do
it's
you
gonna be
do,
three.
do
Here we
you
go.
more favor Patrice O'Neal or Lavelle Crawford?
Uh,
Yeah,
that's
boy.
like me asking you who you look like, Tyrone Bigsby, or do you look like the black dude from Making a Band, Freddie P? I mean, I don't know. It's a tough thing, man. You know, it's a tough thing because you look like you was in a boy
Freddie
band.
P.
I
I
mean, I
haven't
don't
heard
know,
that name in so long.
but you know, shout out to B3, man. He trying to come up with a few jokes, man. But you know, hey,
It's all good.
any
What
nigga,
was your
any
question
nigga
though?
that's any nigga that shop at the Goodwill can't roast with me.
I
It
want to
don't
see
work.
what you.
It don't
What
work.
was your question? What you was about to say something?
All
What
right,
was you about to
I'm gonna
say?
chill.
I just seen B3 with a Coogee sweater on and
Why you
some
just he going?
Adidas,
Here
man.
we
I was
go. It's
shocked.
up. It's on
I was
now.
like,
Here
where
we
do you
go.
get the Adidas from? It's crazy. Nasty work. Um, but
What was the
before
question?
I forget,
B, B,
man,
Hold on,
let me ask
BBO
you
the
BBL. Hold
type
on.
this.
BBO the type of guy
Oh
he
man,
can't even stand outside of a middle school.
mm, that's crazy. Now that was
Well,
crazy.
only a sick human being like you who got your ex's name tattooed on your throat would say something like that. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, you don't want to do this with me, man. You don't want to do this, man, because I'm cutthroat, bro. I'm gonna tell them about how you waited outside old girl's house under the car, man, and you
That's
refused to come
crazy.
from under her car. We know you refused to come from under her car, man.
A
What's
lot of
happening
You
right
want
now?
to get down.
What's happening right now?
a lot of people don't know that
I don't
BBO's
know. I'm lost.
introduction. A lot of people don't know that BBO's introduction to boxing was, when Mayweather was trying to read. Y'all remember he was trying to read? Like BVO was his security that was
Yo,
trying to
boy,
help him.
come on, y'all think this is crazy. Come on, man. Come on,
Well,
BBL. Ask your question.
my question is simple, man. How can a nigga in New Balances talk so crazy?
Oh,
The
no.
nigga got on some New Balance 51, was it 5911s? Them is
I
the
don't know
ones they
nothing
were in
about that.
prison. Why you got those on, man?
He said in prison. Y'all
You
boys
got the
out of
prison New
control.
Balances on, man. And like I
Ask the
said,
question.
any dude that got a tongue ring and wears satchels can't talk to me crazy.
He
It
said
just don't work.
satchels.
You know, you wear
Satchels.
satchels, man. You can't talk to me crazy, man. You
I
know,
don't know what's
you and
happening right
Wade,
now, chat, but
whatever games y'all want to play. You know, hey, you want to wear your satchel around your body like a crossbody? Do your thing.
I
Do
don't
your
know
This
what's
thing,
is
man.
happening, but I'm gonna stay out of this one.
It's
this is
just
Oh,
roasting moment between B3 and BBO. Me and Prize are just up here as spectators.
I mean,
I'm having a good time. Bro. This is
y'all
comical.
know when y'all trying to like get y'all some food from like the grocery store, whatever, y'all trying to check out, and it's always like a lady with like a whole like book of coupons, right? Like she got 1,000 coupons. She got 2 carts. She got a whole book of coupons. BVO is the husband that's walking with her, that's just sitting there letting her do the shit,
well,
keeping up all the
well,
line, got
you know,
everybody waiting. That's BVO.
usually when we
He
see
said the
B3,
coupon. Y'all boys is out of control, man.
I'll say this. Now, I want to be on a serious note because this is a serious thing. Usually, when you go to any gas station in America in the hood, you're gonna see a B3 out there asking you to sell you some of that. What he say? He got the dro or whatever he got. He either gonna give you his mixtape or he want to sell you some dro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna buy you an Arizona and a pack of Tic Tacs. and I'm gonna wish you the best. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna let my brother sit outside, man. I know you've been outside with your mixtape and your ganja all day, man. I'm not gonna do you dirty. I'm not. I'm really not.
Yeah,
Other races of boxers make some.
BBO the type of dude that'll knock on your door and sell you a pool.
A
This
what?
nigga BBO will sell you a pool. This nigga.
Y'all boys, man,
I'll
come
sell,
Hey,
on, man.
Bella,
I'll sell the food.
Bella,
I don't know what
Bella.
we
That's
doing, chat. I don't know what
hold
we
on,
doing, chat. This
hold
is
on,
not
real quick,
me, D Free.
Bella. That's a fact, Bella. That's a fact.
All right, I'm cutting up.
That's a good point. That is a good point because
Yep.
even one of my favorite Jamel Charlo when he fought Canelo, it was yes or no, sir. But when it was against anybody else, he told Deontay Wilder, I got people who will go to jail for life. Like, threatening his life and talking about what he had do to Deontay Wilder. And I mean, the whole thing I'll tell you is this, man. That's what you did when you deal with corny cats like B3, or Tank Davis. They talk all that good stuff, and then they get beat to death, at the drop of a hat because they ain't got no hands. Because
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
a
it.
That
guy
This,
that
like
was
but
embarrassing, Bella.
see, but these different.
That Tony Harrison and Charlo out, they was dropping the inbound all, and there was all them white people over there. I was just like, just stop, brothers. Just that was cringe. I ain't gonna cap. Even though it was like exciting at times, but there was a lot of stuff said between Tony Harrison and Charlo that, as me as being a black man, I was just like, damn, I wish that, because like when I'm at work, I'm normally like the one of the only blacks there, and I won't be on the phone with BVO saying N word this, nigga that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel you. That press conference was so cringe, like both of them. So I'm with you on that one.
And what about the Regis and Devin, the press conference
That
right
what that
before
don't
the
got
fight?
nothing on Charlo Harrison. That was an embarrassment. I'm with Queen Bella all the way on. I was cringing the whole time on that one. That was like, damn. The white people looking around like, man, this is how they talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? That's how they look. And I was just like wishing they stopped, but it got worse and worse and worse. But the
Well, you
fights
see
was good.
Crawford and Spence was about to go that way, and Crawford deaded it. He didn't want no nigga
let me
activity.
ask you guys this on let me ask you this on a serious note. Do you guys ever worry when you hear people like B3 walk up to grown people and say, you need a foot massage?
That's
You know,
crazy.
that's
You back on this
I
again?
don't
After
know
what
what a foot
Queen Bella
massage the
just
boy.
after Queen Bella just said what she said, and we just had that talk. You go
I know.
back.
I was trying to deal with the queen. I was trying to move forward with the queen because,
That was
like you
crazy.
saying, break it up. You know what I'm saying? Break it up a little bit. But BBO want me to cook tonight, so we gonna cook.
Go ahead.
You
Go ahead,
know,
get him. Go ahead, BBL.
but
Get
I'm
him.
just saying, listen, BBO. He the type of guy that always want to sell newspapers and bean pies to brothers, but
Well,
coming to the
hold on.
neighborhood, he got a jacket full of watches.
Hold on.
and he got a and
This
he
the
got a
same
trunk
dude.
and he got a trunk full of steaks.
Hold on. This the same dude. This the
Go
same
ahead.
dude who had his belt on backwards and had on some Vizu jeans. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You still wearing FUBU, man. I don't think a cat like you can even comment on me. You can't, man. Didn't you have cornrows when I seen? Didn't you have some cornrows or something like that? Like, come on, dude. Like, what, the stitches in them? I don't think niggas wear cornrows no more,
BBO got 3 polos and now he think he fresh, man. Get out of here, man.
bro.
Got 3 polo
The
sweaters,
fact that
man.
the fact is this: VVO still
We
got
know
his.
all, we
I
know
mean, I
all your money
call it.
going. You know all your money going over the border. The only reason you over here is to send money back, nigga.
One thing about you, man,
If
you
your ass,
look
if
like
your
a
ass
loose.
lose, if your
Be
ass lose
careful
your
before I
job,
send
we
you
ain't gonna
home.
see you no more. if your ass,
You know,
if your ass get fired, we ain't gonna see you ever again. They gonna they gonna ship your ass right back to where you came from.
he said, they ain't gonna speak back, bro. Salute. Uh, what are you talking about? Salute to my brother CDK, man. That's my guy, man. CDK, we in here talking to my man B3, man. He's a welfare recipient. We just talking to this brother, seeing how he doing, man. This is a brother that was on
Yeah,
the way
They
up.
if
doing
anybody,
ACDK. They doing something else, and me and D Free just laying back. I don't know what's happening.
We can get back to boxing. You know, it don't matter. BVO want to cook me though.
BVO is in the cooking mood. He's got his apron on and his chef hat, and he's trying to
He don't get this. He
fry
don't get this
ish.
type, but he don't get this type of
I
work
ain't
that
gonna lie
often.
though. I ain't gonna lie, D3. When I see your icon, I do get kind of sad. It almost look like it's like a RIP type of thing on there, like it's a mirror or something. I ain't gonna
Y'all
lie.
boys.
Whenever I see my man
Y'all
D3's little
boys.
advertisement, I get sad.
Salute TD. My brother CDK had a fire show earlier. Y'all go subscribe to them brothers, man. And go
Oh, shout out
subscribe
to
to
Tommy,
Crush.
man.
Yeah,
So
and
what's
Crush out to my
y'all
OG
can
Crush.
so let's get back to boxing. This a big
Hmm.
fight week. What y'all thinking about the fights? What y'all any upsets y'all thinking coming up this weekend? Or which fight y'all most
I
interested
mean,
in checking out?
I think there's only one fight that I think that's a possible upset that can happen. And I don't really think it's an upset. I think it's more of a 50-50 fight. But I think Tio is favored slightly, but I think Barbosa can beat Tio. If Barbosa can make Tio come forward, Barbosa can outbox Tio.
Yep, I hope he does too, D Free. I'm going for Barbosa. I hope Barbosa box circles around Tio. And I hate Tio. Like I hate him. Or I'll say I despise him. Let's use that word. Well, I really despise Tio, and I really hope Barbosa show up. Because Barbosa been calling for this fight for a minute. In the chat,
Ever since Tio
y'all
came to
know that too.
140.
Exactly. Everybody up here in the chat, we all know that Barbosa has been calling for this fight. I want him to call the fight. You got it. You got it now, brother. Time to show up, Barbosa. I'm with you. I'm riding with you. I hope you destroy this man, bro. Hope you
If
box him
if
11 then nothing and then stop him in the 12th.
if
I
he
don't
can
want
fight
Tio
the
to win
I
the
Maserati
ain't
100.
gonna
that he
lie though.
fought
When I seen
on
Arnold
Perez,
Barbosa, he looked like a dude that can cut grass real good.
Tio, let it
That's
go.
kind of
Let it go.
that's the that's the look I see when I see Arnold Barbosa. He looks like he can cut grass real good. I don't know about fighting, but when it comes
That's
See,
to
that's what I'm
cutting
saying.
crazy.
grass,
Anytime, that's what I'm saying,
BBO,
man. You
that's
gotta
cutting
watch
crazy.
power,
BBO. See, he the type of dude that only when he see a dude to think about a dude pause. All he think about is the labor that the dude can. That's all. What work can this guy do for me, man? BBO is a terrible individual, man. He, it's
shit, what work
all,
can he
That's
do?
crazy. Shout out to all the Spanish people, man. Come on, BBO. He
yo.
wow. He
Hey,
like,
but one
but
thing I will say about picking,
I'm gonna be
Barbosa hit and
honest.
not get hit.
I'm
He
gonna be
can win.
honest with you.
Go
I
ahead,
see
Phil.
Aaron Barbosa. I don't think that he can cut grass. I think the dude is part of a gang. That's what I see. I see all the tattoos. I think gang member. I don't think grass cutter.
That's good.
that's all.
I think
He
he
just
can
look like
fight.
one
When I
of them
think of
dudes.
Barbosa, I think he can fight.
He's
With
like
this
a
pick,
dude that can probably like fix your whole rose bush type of cat. Get your shrubs in order type of dude. But that's just me. He's got that look. My man Bentley said T.O. ain't losing. He probably won't lose because Arnold Barbosa is good, but I think if he can make T.O. be first, as Dub would say, that's the only way he can win. Other than that, it should be an easy night for T.O. I think T.O. might even
Yeah.
stop him.
I don't think Tio lose, but I think Barbosa can upset Tio.
That's
I
not
think if
true, Crush. I spoke to you. I said shout out to my OG Crush. I definitely
I
did.
think I think Barbosa can have a Cambosa's night because Barbosa is not the biggest puncher. So, but Barbosa remind me of a 140-pound fighter like Cambosis. He's a pure boxer. He's not no daggone power puncher or anything like that. I think he can have a Cambosis night because I think Tio's having one of those episodes he had right before Cambosis. He's having one of those
He said an
episodes again.
episode.
I'm just being honest
I
with what I'm saying.
mean,
This man acting out.
Yeah,
He's
they had an
doing all of
episode.
this stuff. He's talking about everything but the fight. So I think he's having one of those episodes where he's overlooking Barbosa. And I think Barbosa can do the same thing that Cambosa did.
I would agree with that. I can't speak against that. I think you are right on the money with that, my brother. But that being said, my only question is if T.O. wins this fight, who's going to be next? Is it going to be Hitchens or possibly Gary Antoine? What do you think?
Man, there's going to be somebody ranked at 21st in the daggone WBO.
I believe Devin is fighting the catch. Well, I think he's going to be fighting at 144. Um, to be honest with you, I think this is going to be a tougher fight than people think. But I do think Devin's going to pull it out if he can avoid the left hand. That's the only thing I'll say. If he can avoid the left hand, then we got something special. We really do. We got something special. He said Devin fighting at he fighting at catchweight. But I'll say this: the fight to really make some money on is Rolly versus Ryan. People don't understand. Rolly is hitting like bricks. I think he could easily stop Ryan. We seen Ryan get in there with Tank Davis and quit. So he really
That ain't Rolly.
Quit.
Dog, you didn't see.
He did quit though.
Dog, you didn't see Rolly get rocked and dropped in every fight since he fought Tank Davis. That man has been getting beat up like a rag dog in every fight since he fought Tank Davis. I ain't got no faith in Rolly beating no daggone Ryan.
I do.
No,
I hope Rolly. I think Rolly.
I want him to, but I don't think he will.
Remember when Rolly? I know y'all. I know, and I'm one of the people. When Rolly almost took his, when Rolly almost unalived him in that sparring session, I can see that happening again. Ryan grabbing on for life, dear life.
That was when Ryan was 17 years old. It was 17 years old.
How old is Rolly? How old are they apart? I'm being for real.
I don't know how old Rolly is, but I know Ryan was 17 at that time. I believe Rolly is older.
Let me see.
I believe Rolly is older, but Ryan was like 17 at that time.
Yeah, we shall see.
Rolly is garbage. Rolly is what you call a garbage fighter. He has no. You can't even say what style Rolly fights. He don't have a style.
He got a lot of power.
Okay, so AD free. So Rolly is 29 and Ryan is 26.
Yeah. So like I said, Ryan was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Rolly was 18. Oh, I mean, Rolly was 20.
20.
I mean, 19, mm-hmm. 19, 20.
19, 20.
19, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's 2 years older than Ryan, or 3 years older than Ryan. So he was 20 years old. Ryan was 17. That was 9 years ago.
I hope Rolly hit him like that though again, and I want to see Ryan grab on for his life.
I mean,
I feel like this though.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan get rocked.
Did you see Rolly's training when he was like, when he was in that, when Rolly was hitting that bat, I was crying, boy. I said, Rolly,
have y'all been hearing Rolly talk? Rolly talk like he already lost.
He never could talk. What
no,
you mean?
I'm talking
about the fight.
I'm talking about the way he is talking. He's talking like he's already lost. Like he sounds like he's already lost. The man is off.
He don't have no confidence no more.
None whatsoever. He didn't been dropped by everybody he's been in the ring with since he lost to Tank Davis.
Yeah,
he's been dropped by everybody.
Especially when that old man whooped on him, man. That was bad, man. You know, but you know what though, Rolly? I will say this, Rolly. No, even though he's not very skilled, he does go out swinging. Rolly go out punching, bro. He does.
Yeah, Rolly gonna walk right into a punch like he's been doing.
He gonna walk into something. Yeah.
He gonna. I want Rolly to win. I'm
Me
not
too.
a fan. I'm not a fan of neither one of them. Don't like neither one of them as a fighter or as an individual. But I want Rolly to win. But no, I'm not putting my money on no Rolly.
I want Rolly to knock him out. But even though I believe Rolly is not going to win, and like Free just said, I wouldn't put no money on Rolly. But I just hope for the boxing guys just answer my prayers and just let Rolly really knock Ryan out. That would just make my day. It would.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it'll make a lot of people's day. It definitely will make Devin's day. But the chances of that happen are like 99-1. The chances of those happening.
Yeah, I can see that. But I tell you this, man. One thing I'm excited about in boxing is we starting to see people stop talking about sides of the street. Oh, this fight got to marinate. People used to be talking like promoters. Now you hear people talking about if you want to get it, you can. So I mean, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. But I mean, definitely. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say some fights do need to marinate because if you try to put fighters in there too early, it's not going to be as good of a fight because one guy is inexperienced and another guy is more experienced, and two, a lot of these guys like I was saying earlier when I was on my man McClain's channel, a lot of people don't realize 90% of the fighters in the sport of boxing never see $1 million contract. They never see $1 million contract. So I was just looking at one of Jack Catterall's former opponents. He fought a guy that was 15 and 163.
That's crazy.
The man had continued fighting for 60 more fights. The man ended his career at 15, 224.
Wow.
This man I think it was in 2017. The man fought 34 times. 34 times in 2017.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
To get a
I could
paycheck.
definitely see that. But one thing I want to kind of put a little tidbit in this. We're gonna have my man Crown Jewel and his son come in, Coach
Yeah.
Crown Jewel, and his son will be here. And like
Shout
I
out
said,
Crown.
we still working on getting my man Malik Scott. We know, congratulations to him. He hit the lottery.
He busy.
Anybody ever seen my brother Malik Scott? Hopefully we're gonna get him back real soon. But hey, I'm excited about what's going on, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, Sports Talk Network's taking over the game. I mean, think about it. Where else can you get a brother with a satchel and a tongue ring? Ain't nobody roasting him. Shout out to B3,
Whoa.
man. We doing our thing over here, man.
Shout out to Fight Sports Talk. And yeah, you're right, Bella. I ain't rocking with Derrick James right now. He just looked like he's. I mean, I can't knock his hustle because he needs a paycheck. I don't know, but I feel you though, Shorty.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
I feel you.
You said
He
Rolly got
got
stopped
bills,
by
man.
Cruz, who basically just comes forward and throws hooks. Yeah, but he got caught with one of those hooks too. One thing about Rolly, man, he'll get smashed and he'll get up and give you an interview. He remind me like a Mexican
My
Elmer Fudd.
organ.
That's what he
Yeah.
remind me of. He like Elmer Fudd. He get his head kicked in, but he's still it's just this guy's a goofball. Shout out to my man, the
The
twins, man.
scholar
Shout
is
out
in
to
here.
Oh man, shout out to Scarlett, man. Fresh off bail, man. You know,
Oh,
Hoochie screaming. Shout out to man coming off that Diddy case. Man, I know we can't talk about it, but this was Puff Daddy's right hand man, who also was responsible for about a third of the massages that Diddy got came from
that's
Marcus.
crazy.
So it
That's
is what it
insane.
is. But let me ask you this real quick, Fred. I want to ask you a serious question, man. You
Go
hear me,
ahead.
Free? So going forward, man, how far you think Abdullah Mason can go weight wise? You think he can go up to middleweight, or you think
Mm,
he'll stick around 147?
Um,
mm,
I don't know. It all depends on how his body feels out as he gets older because he just turned 21. So we got to see how his body feels. Like he's not a big frame individual. He's tall, but he's not big framed. So we got to see
mhm.
how his body feels out. I think probably somewhere between 47 and 54 might be his limit, but who knows? He very well could be at 160,
Mm-mm.
possibly even 168. All depends on how his body feels out because you never know when you got guys that young. You don't know how they're going to fill out as far as their body frame.
Throughout his young career, I see him going no higher than 54, if anything. But like maybe when if he decides to fight in his mid to late 30s, maybe we will see him go up there. But for right now, I I'm with Free. I don't think he's like a wide frame. 50. I think he needs to just focus on what he's doing now. And if he decides to go to 54 or one day, that's he probably fill out when he 28, 29. Who's to say that he can't do it? So the time, it remains to be seen at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. CDK 54 is like that's pretty much probably it. Skylar crazy.
Yeah, you can't really get mad at Skylar, man. This brother grew up on rice and honey, man. So you can't really go too crazy. But before we get out of here, man, I
Yeah.
just want to send a big shout out to Abdullah Mason, man. I heard he's coming back for another fight, and we watching you, man. We see what you're doing. Congratulations on all your success, man. And if you guys want to know what happened, Boston Scholars the reason Shador got drafted so late.
Hey, BVO.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned Abdullah Mason, but what about your boy Emiliano Vargas? Do you know who he's fighting this weekend?
Nope.
No.
Another cab driver or so?
Well, this is what he's doing. He's doing the Devin Haney in Mexico plan.
No, he ain't.
Trying to get
Stop it,
himself
man.
together, man.
Stop it. See, now you discrediting a champ who was champ about 21. Come on now. These kids playing catch up. But man, hopefully he can get a night here Albright or somebody soon, man, so we can really see what's really popping.
Yeah. Because I think no matter how I go, man, it's gonna come together, man. As my man said it best, whether we're in it together or we not, we're all in this thing, man. So we're gonna have some fun, man.
Yeah.
Shout to B3 coming through, man, with the whole platinum FUBU Muhammad Ali set on. But
Hey.
we'll have some fun, man.
Dirt.
Shout out to my man Puerto Rican Free. And we out of here, y'all. Y'all got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I do, man. You know, protect your kids at all times, stay on your pivot, and get to your money.
100%. And speaking of getting to your money, man, let's go green, man. Anybody listening, tap in the B3 Boxing Picks on IG. Not Another Boxing Channel presented by
Oh, okay.
B3
That was
Picks
you on. That
on
was you on
YouTube.
my Instagram. Okay, I saw
Yes,
that. Yeah,
sir.
that. I did see that. I'm gonna go do it right now.
Already.
Yeah.
And we got them picks.
Yeah.
We definitely hit that Chris Eubank by decision for a rack. I mean, come on, man. Tap in with me.
Double.
We hit that Gabby Fondora under 8.5 for another Trey 5. I mean, we doing it. Tap in.
Queen Bella said Emilio Boxred is 0 and 1 stars. Yo, that's crazy. I'm gonna leave it
Well,
there.
I mean, you always gonna have haters, man. You always gonna have haters.
That don't sound like no hate.
We
Yeah,
talking about
he
Emiliano
got to step it
Vargas.
up.
She sounded like she was stating her
Well,
opinion.
maybe
But what do I know?
he should fight the same cab drivers that ain't Tank doing rematches with cab drivers now. So
Lamont ain't a
I mean,
cab
You ain't
driver.
getting disrespectful. You talking about a 130 champion? Come on, BBO. Get it
who he
together, man.
beat?
Go ahead, close
BBO
out this
don't
show,
like
man.
Lamont. He don't like Lamont, man. I don't know why he
I
don't
thought
like
Hector
Lamont,
Garcia
man.
was blind.
Nah, he fought Hector fought for 12 rounds. He wasn't blind.
Who fought for 12
Okay.
rounds?
He
He
fought
came on his
Lamont for
back.
12 rounds.
Oh, yeah.
What did he say? I want my daddy's records. That's all he kept saying. He want his daddy's records. So I don't know. I don't know, man.
He said Tank turned him into Ray Charles.
Y'all boys
Dang.
wild.
Yeah.
Man, but listen,
What
man,
else you got,
give
You know what
Lamont
BBO?
I
some
will say?
respect, man.
One of the funniest things I ever seen was when my man Tank pulled up with a purple coat and the dangly earrings like Lisa from Coming to America. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. I said, who dressed this dude? Who did it?
Dang.
Before we
Yeah, man.
even
Shout
go,
out
man,
to
Hey,
no
BBO,
question,
you
man.
must be stopped tonight. That man
shout out
rolled up
to
with the fur coat with the Lisa mix.
hey, shout
Y'all
out to
remember
Tank and
the
Lamont,
earrings
man.
that he gave Lisa?
The
Oh,
$500,000 earrings.
and the old lady said, "I'll marry you if you're a
I'll
prince."
make you my prince.
Right.
Boy, you wilding when boy, I'm out. I'm done.
Right.
That's
BBO
Them
is
the
it.
kind of them,
crazy.
That's
the-
it.
them the kind of
That's it,
girls that
bro.
B3 talk to. Them old ladies that be saying, "I'll marry you if you're a prince."
Come
But
on,
Scott,
man.
but Scott, what you go?
That's why you be at church 4 days out the week because you be wanting to be around them hoes.
Hey,
Yeah, my
I'm sorry.
stomach. Y'all boys wilding.
I'm sorry you never been to church, man. You know.
Yeah, Bella
uh,
said she not a Tank fan and she don't like dudes who wear purses and get email belts. Put some respect on her name, Queen Bella.
All I'll say is, man, put some respect on Tank's name. He wears the
She
dangly
said
earrings.
Javante Knowles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm on mute the rest of the
Hey,
night.
I seen Tank with a satchel around his neck. What was it? Crossbody? Is that what they call it?
She talking about
Oh,
Tank, ain't she?
huh?
think she's talking about Tank.
That's
Yeah,
what she said. She's not
And
a fan
now
of
she's
dude.
egging
because
him
the
on.
She
BVO
clearly
just gonna
said
keep
she's not
going.
a Tank. I'm not a Tank fan. That's what she said.
because the worst thing I seen with Tank was when I seen my man Scholar and Tank sit on that beanbag together. I thought that was wild.
She said
The
I thought
worst.
that was nasty.
The worst thing that happened to BVO was T.O. getting his ass whooped by
Vontae knows.
Cambosis.
Hey,
And now
hey, hey, we can't
only
cuss on here,
thing
man.
my
Who
only
cut it?
thing
I want to run.
Wait a
now
minute. Ain't that
Yeah,
dub drop?
them
BVO
niggas cussing.
disappointed, bro.
yeah,
BVO, let me tell you what's funny about BVO, bro. BVO come over to my
Oh man,
panel, bro. BVO
he
come
was,
over to my panel. He eat a
But you know
cuss
what?
word sandwich before he come over there.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
say
But
every cuss
I'll say
word
this.
Hold
known to
on, BBL.
man.
I'll
Hold on,
say this,
BBL.
man.
Hold on.
Hold on.
let the man cook.
Shout out to Boxer Scholar. Shout out to Puerto Rican Free. Shout out to B3. And we out of here, y'all. Peace.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yeah, you about to have my man come up here talking crazy. We can't have that B3. So fake him out. Fake him out.
Bruh, that was the
Fake him out.
funniest. Bruh.
What they
shout
say?
out to shout out to the sports.
Stall him out, Debo. Stall him out.
Hey man, shout out to the Sports Talk Nation, man. You already know the best in the game.
Hey, we try to do what we can, man. And shout out to my man CDK in the chat. Shout out to Bella, always showing love. Shout out to my man Dub Right Side, my brother.
The
2
OG
girls,
crush.
1 cup. This dude, scholars are sick, bro. That brother said 2 girls, 1 cup. Wow. 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 What a pervert. All I can say is, man, send him back to Africa, man. Brother's out of order. Talking too crazy for me. But
Bro, tonight was a hell of a night, man. Unfortunately, the Lakers lost. It looks like they won't be advancing in the playoffs. Shador Sanders got
going home.
drafted. Thank God. What you think about Shador going to Cleveland before we get off? What you think about that?
I think it's a great addition, and I hope he get an opportunity to show what he can do. We need
Yeah,
a quarterback. Ain't no doubt about that. You
yeah,
know, I think y'all did some good things with Bryce Young. I think he gonna have a better year as well.
yeah. You know I'm with the
But
Ravens, but shout out to the Panthers too, man.
oh yeah, you know Lamar gonna do what he always do: have an MVP year and lose right before he go to the Super Bowl. So shout out to Lamar Jackson, man. But we out of here, y'all, man. We just had to fake my brother Scholar out. You know he like to talk crazy, man. And we gone, y'all. Peace. Shout
Hey.
out to the Breakfast Box. Shout out to Raycon. Shout out to my brother B3. We gone.